Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. Welcome back. Happy New Year and happy first anniversary to this podcast. If you are listening to this episode on the day it aired, it is January 7th, 2025, and we are almost one full week into the new year. And this is our first episode of 2025. We started this podcasting journey in late January 2024 and brought you 47 consecutive episodes throughout 2024, never missing a week until we took a 2-week break at the end of December. I continue to thank Kaylin Wolfskill of Ruby Media for producing the podcast and Joanne Harris for composing the original theme music. I believe in this show's mission to pose questions for reflection and provide actionable key changes to grow in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. We believe the show is making a difference in the lives of its listeners and in those they love, serve, and lead. In episode number 47, titled Believe, that is exactly what we did. To believe. Those who are part of this community believe we can make key changes in our lives and in the lives of those we love, serve, and lead. As I mentioned in episode number 47, some people like to roar into the new year like a lion. Others like to tiptoe in like a mouse. I burned myself too many times by roaring too loudly, too soon at the start of some New Year's. In the last few years, I have found that tiptoeing into the new year allows me to test the waters for each new year. What have you done to start this year? Have you roared into it like a lion or tiptoed in like a mouse? As we outlined in episode number 47, during the final episode for 2024, which aired on December 17th, we attempted to finish our necessary work for the calendar year so that we could rest and enjoy the final moments of 2024 with friends and family. We made a list of what could wait for completion for 2025. If you have yet to do so, reevaluate that list. Return to it with a fresh perspective and new motivation. Is something no longer of value? Can something be eliminated? Did you forget about something that should be added to the list? As time permits, address this list and finish those tasks as soon as possible. Were you able to find time in 2024 to reflect on the year? The holidays may not have allowed for that to the degree you had hoped to reflect. Maybe you were traveling, hosting family, or even working. If you have not reflected yet, find the time and space away from others to do so now, at the start of this new year. Remember to consider your achievements and failures. What were your strengths and limitations? What did you do? What did you not do? What could you do more of? What could you do without? You may have already chosen your one word for this new year, or maybe you narrowed it down to a few possible words and have begun to test these words out as the year has started. As we did in episode number 36, titled One Word, we discovered key changes we can make to select one word for motivation during the final months of 2024. Next week, in episode number 48, we will ensure that we have selected our one word for 2025. Finally, how is your plan for 2025 going? We shared that this could be a list, an outline, a timeline, a calendar, a planner, or whatever you need to set this plan in motion. Regardless of the way you go about your plan, believe in your vision and mission for the year, because if you don't, no one else will. It is a new year, so a new or renewed you awaits. What's the difference between new and renew? New means not existing before, made, introduced, or discovered recently or now for the first time. Another definition of the word new is just beginning or beginning anew and regarded as better than what went before. I like that idea of better than what went before. Don't you? Renew means to resume an activity, such as after an interruption. It can also be to reestablish, repeat, or revive, such as to give fresh life or strength to something. This could apply to many areas of life, like after a pregnancy, a job change, a retirement, or even a move. It could simply apply to getting back in shape, working out again, eating better, or reading more. Will this be the year for a new you or a renewed you? Both options seem to carry a sense of personal transformation and fresh starts, which we often associate with the new year. However, they each focus on different aspects of change. A new you may express personal growth, transformation, and the opportunity for reinvention. It emphasizes self-improvement and making a fresh start as an individual. It's about who you can become, the key changes you want to make, and the version of yourself you want to nurture in the coming year. A renewed you focuses on the notion of building on what's already been established, taking the best parts of who you are and refining them. It's about evolving, not reinventing. It's about revitalizing your outlook on life, your goals, and how you approach the coming months. A renewed you carries a sense of resetting. It means embracing growth, learning, and attempting new experiences. Could the idea of a renewed you appeal to you more than a new you? There's something powerful about embracing growth and improvement without losing the essence of who you are. A renewed you could feel like a balanced blend of growth and self-acceptance. It's about taking what you've learned, shedding what no longer serves you, and stepping into a more aligned version of yourself. Consistent, key changes can have a huge impact when they are rooted in who you already are and where you are going. But if you feel like you're on the edge of something entirely new, then why not lean into the new you energy? It's all about what resonates with your goals for the year ahead. Are you embracing renewal or setting your sights on something new? I will admit that I do not know much about the Chinese zodiac, but in researching ideas for this podcast episode, I learned that 2025 is the year of the serpent. It will begin on February 17th, 2025, and end on February 5th, 2026. In Chinese astrology, the serpent, or snake, is a symbol of wisdom, charm, elegance, and transformation. This certainly goes along with our theme for the new year, to transform. When I learned that this is the year of the serpent, it reminded me of how snakes shed their skin as part of their growing process because it doesn't fit them anymore. When snakes grow, their skin does not, so they outgrow it. When this happens, they shed their outer layer of skin. Shedding of the skin also has another purpose, to help remove parasites that could harm the snake. This shedding of skin can be a powerful visual metaphor. Like the serpent, what is harming you? What will you leave behind from 2024 to allow for a stronger, more vibrant you to transform? Whether you are focusing on a new you or a renewed you, it is certain to be a year for making key changes. As we enter the next 50 episodes of the podcast, I hope you will continue joining me each week. Bring some new friends along too. Happy New Year! A new or renewed you awaits. If you found this episode helpful or enjoyable, please share it with others. For each episode, access the show notes for some resources. There is also a link to my website and one where you can sign up for the Making Key Changes newsletter to receive weekly content delivered directly to your email inbox each Wednesday. You can also sign up for a mentoring session with me if you are interested. My main work is public speaking, so if you feel any of my talks or courses would add value to your school district, company, or organization, let's have a conversation. You can find a list of these on the homepage of the Making Key Changes website. How are we making key changes to embrace renewal or set our sights on something new? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.